Excuse me. Uh-oh. Big chungus, big chungus.
Gamers! Oh, gamers. Oh, that was some REM sleep right there. Jesus. Oh, what a coincidence, too. I didn't see you there. You ever heard that one before? But for real, gamers, you're probably wondering by the title of this video, how do you sleep faster, Brad? That's epic. Like, I've always seen those Tumblr threads about, you know, like, how do I sleep 2 hours, there's 8 hours in 2 hours, or 8 hours, 30 minutes. Well, you know what? Sleep quality, or sleep really, what your sleep is dependent on, and what we're focusing on here, is a little something about sleep called REM sleep. How to enter that faster, how to have more of it, and therefore sleep, well, faster, because there have been numerous studies done where if patients are woken up just before they get into REM sleep in a subtle enough way to where they get enough sleep, by definition they get 8 hours, but they don't get REM sleep, it's as if they didn't get any at all. So gamers, we're going to teach you epic style, and by we I just mean myself, of course, and Gerald. That meaning I don't really count as an individual. How to get more REM sleep faster, epic style. I've got a list of things to do, and before we get started, I want to just say, gamers, not the like, subscribe crap. I want to say that I will be doing another video on sleep, on how to get to sleep quicker, and how to, how to tailor your environment for a better sleep quality at night. So, gamers, let's just get this right off the bat. You want to have a cold, dark room. High quality, again, environment will directly correlate the amount of sleep. Something about it being just cold enough lowers your body temperature just enough to where your body doesn't use that much energy. It's easier for it to relax, and plus you won't get those weird sweats and have to change your sheets nearly as often. And gamers, you know how uncomfortable like the warm side of the pillow, for example, is. Same concept with your room. You want to keep it cold and you want to keep it dark. Dark being because, again, REM sleep is very, very dependent on a lack of stimuli, because your brain's entering that dormant state. For me, to attain this dark room, I actually have shutters that let in a lot of light so that when it's morning time, I get to it. Again, that's going to be in the sleep schedule video, but we'll get to that later. But what I do is I use a sleep mask. More specifically, this mask is the Manta sleep mask. It's not sponsored or anything like that. I've just found that this works really well. I'll leave a link in the description for this. It's very poggers, very epic style. But seriously, this thing works shockingly well. It's meant to block out 100% of the light because of these cups, right? Hugs around your eye, can't see anything. I've tried shining LEDs in my face, it works. Now, gamers, we're pertaining again to the environment. I know I said I'd make another video on environment for sleeping faster, but this ties into quality as well. You want your bedroom to be a sanctuary. You might have heard from a lot of people, right, that you should only sleep and, you know, do the woohoo in bed. I completely agree. It makes a massive difference. Your brain will start to associate your bed with Flappy Punch, because, you know, you can't get Flappy Bird anymore. But gamers, seriously, if your brain doesn't associate your bed with sleep and only sleep, not only is it going to have a tougher time getting to sleep quicker, but it's going to have a tougher time entering that REM state. Again, because stimuli can become from inside the brain, from the neurons firing off, associating like, hey, it's time to play a video game. I need to be ready. I need to be active. That also may result in things like dreaming about the video game, if you're lucky, but almost seldom to none. It really just affects the amount of time it takes you to get to sleep and, well, the quality thereof. Mostly the quality thereof. That's why we're bringing it up in this video. Next are just a few tips, just some little things, is I use different detergent for my bed. So that, again, you can associate, because the key is here, you want to associate your bed with sleep. You want to associate that time with sleep so that your mind can better enter that dormant state. Because it's like, hey, it's time to sleep. Let's get to it. Let's get to the juicy stuff. All right? Now, gamers, I highly recommend a few things. So, blue light can't just come from your computer and phone. It does, and for that reason, I recommend turning on the native blue light filters or downloading a program called Flux on your PC. Flux is free, but I highly recommend supporting them. They're very epic. Obviously, it's not sponsored by any of these people, but Flux works spectacularly. It gives you a time. You give it a time when you wake up. You give it a zip code, and so that it knows when the sun comes up, and it times the blue light filter, the sort of orange hue, on your screen accordingly, so that you kind of wind down a little bit mentally, because your mind processes blue light the same as it does sunlight. If you see sunlight, it's like, hey, time to get on the farm and stuff, and do all those Mesopotamian or whatever early stage of humans did with daylight. You know what I mean? Which is active, which isn't sleeping. And gamers, unfortunately, human beings are not nocturnal. Cringe style. But we can use that to our advantage. Now, as I was saying, blue light can also emit from things that aren't your devices. Your indoor lights, your lamps, your ceiling lights, your fan lights, your sea salts, pink salt lamps, etc. There's a sense of blue light. So what I recommend is some blue light glasses. I don't have any myself, but they really, really do help. Putting those on and shutting off all devices 1 to 2 hours before you're headed to bed is definitely the way to go. It's gonna, again, get your mind into that sort of more dormant state. And again, if it's kind of hard for you to just kind of do nothing, and I'm assuming your nighttime routine might not stretch out about 2 hours, you could start reading, again, more docile activities, as well as a bedtime routine, which is our next tip. Gamers, you want to have a bedtime routine. A lot like a boot up sequence with your morning routine. You want to have one at night. It's a boot down sequence. Kind of tells your brain to ease into it. Again, association. You need your brain to really associate the time and place with sleep so that you can make it work. Okay? That's honestly the main key. That is the golden rule here when it comes to quality of sleep, is your brain associating the scenario with sleep so you can get in that state. Epic style. All right? So, if you have a nighttime routine, that tells your brain, hey, it cues it, I should say, to start entering the dormant state, and even quicker, your REM state. All right. Now, a few other tips, just I'll list them off right here. They're fairly simple things that you can implement that, honestly, I think make a huge difference. Some of them not for everybody, some of them for most people. Let's just get started right off the bat with white noise. I specifically use a program called Brain FM. They scientifically test their soundtracks off of placebos, so you know they're not just messing with you. So, but you don't have to pay for Brain FM or rely on the trial. I do recommend paying for it, though. I do myself. It's well worth it. They don't just have sleep music; they have focus music, etc. The options are just, and it's like magic. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It really, really works, at least in my experience, which is all I can really vouch for. But they got scientific tests as well, so I don't really need to. So I recommend some white noise of some kind. That's really what it's called. Or you can even look on YouTube, music that helps you sleep, or this track will make you fall asleep in 10 minutes. Some of it works really well. A lot of it works really well. But you want to make sure that you don't run into any ads and that it's like 10-hour plus track, so that you're not interrupted by NordVPN. Gamers. This episode is sponsored by Manscaped. Take care of it. Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't want to induce any nightmares. Oh, Christ. But on to the next tip, which doesn't work for quite everybody. In fact, I've heard from quite a few people that it doesn't work the best, but it's hit or miss. For some, it works really well and keeps them in that dormant state, in a deeper state. And it's magnesium. Taking magnesium supplements, I've heard, isn't really good for you. A lot of people are lacking in magnesium, but I've heard it helps you stay in that REM sleep for a little bit longer. For me, it didn't work so well, but then again, I didn't give it much of a chance. Gamers, I would recommend trying it out for a few weeks, maybe a month. And if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. It doesn't work for everybody. Like zinc, for example. I tried taking zinc supplements. Maybe I'm just destined to be a soy boy or something, but they just make me vomit. Don't know what it is. Now, the next one. Right off the bat, I've found this works almost always if you give it time, but it does take time. That's the caveat. Meditation. A lot of people meditate before they sleep or even before they start working. An app like Jesus, what's it called? But like this one, an app like this one. Thank you, future Brad. Jesus, will help you with all sorts of meditative states. I used to meditate before I would go to work, before I get to any creative work, etc. But and it works spectacularly for that. But there are definitely meditations that help you wind down, because again, it's eyes closed, trying to reduce thoughts, or not trying and reducing thoughts. It's its own thing. We won't get into it. But meditation, gamers, I definitely recommend giving it a go. Now, we already mentioned reading, but it's worth it once more, because this is something that I think not only will feed your dreams, but will feed your knowledge base. Your brain really, really absorbs things well that you think of right before you go to bed, because it's right there. It processes it, because your brain is very active, technically, while you sleep. It's not just sitting there. It's not chilling, okay? Your brain is actually getting to it on a plethora of thoughts. That's why you have dreams. Your brain's very active, at least a portion of it, while you sleep. And it's been proven that a lot of knowledge really sticks well, as well as training that you do right before you sleep. So I highly recommend that. Plus, feeds your brain. Fits with the motif of, hey, let's sleep better, faster. Jesus, gamers. Now, another thing. This is a really interesting tip that I wasn't really sure if it works too well, but it makes perfect sense because of digestion. Not eating 2+ hours before you go to bed. A lot of people think this has something to do with intermittent fasting. It might, to an extent, but turns out not eating 2+ hours before bed kind of gets your digestive system, again, not really active. You get a lot of blood flow right after you eat to your gut area, so you can begin digestion. That, again, creates this sort of sense of, I gotta be active in your body, which translates to your mind, which kind of lowers that quality of sleep. Cringe. And gamers, the last and I think most important tip that I want to throw out there is the sleep mask. This thing, and you want to get one that doesn't fall off. If you don't get the Manta sleep mask, I totally get it. But make sure you invest in a high quality one. Don't just get a dollar store one. It's a waste of your money. It's a waste of your space. It's a waste of the space in your trash can. Once it's done and over with, I seriously recommend just getting a high quality sleep mask. This one might not even work for you. But I don't know, gamers. It just might. It's got adjustable cups. It's pretty pog. But seriously, gamers, invest in a decent quality sleep mask if you're comfortable with that. If not, blackout curtains work as well. And they also maintain privacy in the bedroom, obviously. That's epic. I mean, ask Gerald, he knows. But gamers, that is how you sleep much faster. Think about it for a minute, okay? 4 hours of quality sleep. Literally 1 hour of quality sleep. Quality sleep is better than 8 of non-quality sleep. I don't have a better word for sleep that isn't quality, but you get what I'm saying, gamers. You remember that study we mentioned at the beginning of the video? They tested this out on people that got enough sleep. Theoretically, hey, they slept enough, but they didn't get REM sleep. They didn't have dreams. Well, gamers, people like that ended up cringe. They were worse off than the people with literally 1 hour sleep. 1 hour quality sleep is better than 8 of non-quality sleep. So this is truly how you sleep faster. I wasn't just trying to, use a clickbaity title to get you to say, and I'm like, oh, let's talk about quality sleep. You can't really sleep faster. But, and I also do want to say you can't really sleep faster, because I still recommend you get those 8 hours. Trust me, it'll be night and day for your head. Clarity of mind, etc. Gamers, sleep is huge. Huge. Like, bigger than Gerald's divine power, okay? Gamers, that's just about all I got for today. Stay epic. Sleep even more epic. I love you. I really do. Get over here. No homo. I'm still doing this hard, all right? Seriously, stay epic. Stay. God, it's getting so uncomfortable. Just because I'm nervous, because I love you, gamers. But seriously, hey, stay epic. It means a lot to me that you stay healthy. Sleep is one of those keystone things that's really going to affect everything in your life. All right? If you're not getting quality sleep, you're not really going to lead quality work. Stay epic, gamers, or a quality life, for that matter, mentally. But we'll get into that in the other video. I love you. I really do. Specifically you. Stay epic. Leave a comment if you have any sort of questions about this, if you're curious about any more tips or want to expand upon any more. If you think I should make maybe another video on maybe a few of these tips, explaining them in more detail, maybe explaining REM sleep more. Whatever it might be, gamers, please leave a comment. It always means the world to me to know what I should be telling you, gamers. You know, what you actually want to hear, what will actually help you, not just spouting off what I have in my video ideas note. Gamers, stay epic. I love you. Talk soon, okay?